திருச்சிற்றம்பலம். ஆடும் வரிவேல் அணி சேவல் என பாடும் பணியே பணியாய் அருள்வாய் தேடும் கயமா முகனை சிறுவில் சாடும் தனியானை சகோதரனே. திருச்சிற்றம்பலம். அண்ட சராசரங்களுக்கெல்லாம் அதிபதியாக விளங்கக்கூடிய முருகப்பெருமானுடைய ஒப்பற்ற பெருங்கருணையினாலே நம்முடைய அன்பிற்குரிய கத்தார் சரவணன், மிஸ்ஸஸ் சரவணன் அவர்களுடைய அன்பான நல்லாதரவினாலே தொடர்ந்து நிகழ்ந்து வருகின்ற த ஹோலி டைட்டீஸ் ஆஃப் சைவம் என்று சொல்லக்கூடிய அந்த அற்புதமான ஆங்கில தொடரிலே சாப்டர் 2 தி லார்ட் முருகா என்பது பற்றி நாம் சிந்திக்க திருவருள் கூட்டியிருக்கிறது. In the past 5 sessions we have been discussing the holy deity of Lord Vinayaka. One of the very famous and popular deities of Saivam is Lord Muruga. There are crores and crores of devotees all over the world for Lord Muruga. People are crazy about the name Muruga. When they hear the great name uttered by anybody, they will get the greatest feeling and holy tears in their eyes because of their attachment towards the name Murugan. The Lord Murugan is known as Tamil Kadavul. That is, he is the Almighty of Tamilians for ages and ages. Dating back to BC, the historians have found ample proofs that there were Lord Muruga worships spread all over the country, not only country, all over the world. Even today, their devotees are spread over Singapore, Malaysia, Ceylon, and even in US. There are Murugan temples and devotees are paying their worships and prayers regularly, and all Murugan festivals are celebrated with full vigor and bhakti. And the people are very fond of Lord Murugan's grace. Lord Murugan is merciful and graceful, and whenever we utter his name, he is present on his peacock to safeguard his devotees. Lord Muruga, the deity Lord Muruga, the famous Lord Muruga's deity is with 6 faces and 12 hands, and also is adorned with whale, peacock, rooster, and then Valli and Deivayani. The very famous the whale, that is a spear-like weapon, he is always in possession. See, the tradition dictates that Lord Muruga is son of Lord Siva. That's how the Puranam also goes, and people also used to say that Lord Muruga is the son of Lord Shiva, and he is the youngest of all, and Lord Shiva has manifested himself as Lord Muruga to fight the very powerful Asuran, Surabadman. That details will come later, but what should we understand is that Lord Muruga is not the son of Lord Shiva, as actually we are saying, or we have been discussing, we have been propagating the details like father and son and so many stories spinning around them. But the real fact is Lord Shiva has taken another form as Lord Muruga. That is the truth. Lord Shiva has already taken one form as Lord Vinayaka. Likewise, Lord Shiva himself has taken another form known as Lord Subramaniam or Lord Arumugham or Lord Muruga. See, the details that are we are going to discuss about Lord Muruga, we must basically understand Lord Muruga is the Supreme Almighty, Supreme God, no God above him and no God equal to him. That's how we describe Mulu Mudar Purul, that he is the supreme of all beings, He doesn't have any leader, he doesn't have any captain, he doesn't have anybody above him. So he is the supreme of all, Lord Muruga. Then naturally, he is the same as Lord Shiva. There cannot be two Almighties, there cannot be two Patis, there cannot be two gods with equal power. So only one God, God is only one, Almighty is only one. That takes different forms. It takes the form of Lord Shiva, it takes the form of Lord Vinayaka, it takes the form of Lord Subramanya. That's how the forms of different Lord Shivas are existing for the devotees, So the devotees worship him, worship the Lord Shiva as Lord Parameshwara. They worship him as Lord Vinayaka, they worship him as Lord Subramanya. But all of them are one and same. Lord Subramanya cannot be thought of another God came out of the new God. It is the form only there, it is being changed. The root is same. That is how the Kandapuranam song says, the avataram of Lord Muruga, Aruvamum Uruvum Ahi, Anadiyai Palavai Undrai, Piramamai Ninda Sodi Pirambu. That is the greatest Brahman. It is having a Sorubam, not a Rubam. That is above the formless state. See, the state of formless, the state of form, the state of formless form. These three states are Tadatta Nilai. They are called, the God has come down to these three levels to uplift all the souls, to uplift all the souls. He has come down to make the souls to understand him. Unless otherwise he comes down, souls will not be able to appreciate or understand or worship or get benefited out of Lord Shiva. Say Lord Shiva or the Brahman or the Veli, the Paraveli, that's how it is been described. Paraveli is the Sorubam, it is the actual state and actual state, original state it is called. All other states are derived from this, are known as artificial states. Tadatta nilai, seyarkai nilai. Artificially. He has assumed so many forms only because of the welfare of the souls, because souls, they will not be able to understand him unless otherwise he comes in a form. If he is in the original state, the souls are not competent enough to appreciate him or understand him or get benefited out of him. That is why he comes down. That's how people will do. The people will come down to the level of the people in downtrodden state and to help them. Unless otherwise you go to the state of the poor, you go to their state and help them, they will not be uplifted. If you are in your original state and you never come down, means then you don't have real touch or actual contact with them. God comes down to the level of the souls and has actual contact. Those are all called actual contacts. That's how Lord Shiva has assumed another form known as Lord Subramanya or Lord Murugan or Lord Arumugan. Here, this time he has taken this form with 6 faces. Nobody should think that Lord Shiva has 5 faces and only Lord Subramanya has 6 faces. The 5 faces, the 5-face Lord Shiva is one of the forms of Brahman, and 6-face Subramanyam is another form of Parabrahman. Parabrahman, the original state of the Almighty, the original what you call is Swarupam. Swarupam means a natural state. Its original form, natural form. See, to take a form is unnatural, against a natural thing. There is an artificial state that is called Tadatta nilai. Artificial state is Tadatta nilai. So, Lord Shiva has assumed another Tadatta nilai, another artificial form known as this Subramanya or Murugan. Lord Shiva has 5 faces and Lord Subramanya has 6 faces. You may think that how Lord Shiva has come out with 6 faces as Murugan when he is originally having 5 faces. See, it's not so. Lord Shiva is also having 6 faces. We must understand that. Lord Shiva has one face facing east, another one facing west, another one facing south, another one facing north, and he is having another face looking up, Isana Muham, looking up. But the another face is concealed. Nobody will be able to see that face. Only it is available to the greatest saints. The 6th face looking down, Ado Muham. It is being shielded, screened. It is not visible. It is not seen. So that face is not visible for the, even for the what you call the Vanavargal, Amarargal, Devargal, the people in the above world. They are blessed souls. They are blessed souls. Devargal, they are the blessed souls. They enjoy all the wealth of Lord. We cannot call him as Lord, God, Indran, small state. He is also called the king of Amaravati, king of Amaravati. So he is having so much of wealth and other things to be enjoyed, and people with a lot of punyam, that is good deeds, the yield of good deeds, they will go and enjoy there. That is called the heaven. It is called the heaven. people committing so many crimes and evil deeds, they are taken to the hell and they suffer there. They are being punished. In heaven, people are and they are enjoying to their level maximum. They are given all the wealth and health. They are given all the enjoyments and they enjoy that. They go over there only to enjoy these good things. Okay, now you see Lord Muruga with 6 faces and 12 hands. You can just see all the saints, all the heavenly people, and everyone is paying their prayer to Lord Subramanya. In this form, he is called Arumugan. He is called Arumugan. The 6 faces looking in 6 directions cannot be drawn. That is how. That's why it has been shown as stacked side by side. It is not the actual state, but how to depict him on a picture. So to make us understand, they are all in a row. That it is not the actual state. They look in all directions. Why Lord Subramanya is called Arumukham? Because he is having 6 faces looking in 6 directions. That means his sight is spread over all the universe. Spread over all the universe. If you just look at him with 6 faces and 12 hands, people are worshipping him as Arumugan in so many temples like Virali Malai. The main deity looks only like this, but he will be sitting on a peacock, adorning a peacock with also Valli and Deivayani. So Lord Muruga, 6 faces, 12 hands, with a veil in his hand. Veil means it's a spear like a weapon. Veil, the veil in his hand, and he is also having a flag always hoisted. That flag is possessing the rooster. So if you just look the deity, it is a very, very special deity. You cannot see any god more than his powers, more than his powers. So he is this, he is the Lord of all lords. That's how Kanda Puranam says. சுப்பிரமணியனுக்கு மிஞ்சி கடவுள் இல்லை, சுக்குக்கு மிஞ்சி மருந்து இல்லை. That's how people used to say the proverb. And like that, Subramaniam, it has ஆறும் முகம் ஆறும் கொண்டான். That's how Kachiyapar will say. Kachiyapar, when he describes the manifestation of Lord Subramanya from Lord Shiva, அருவமும் உருவுமாகி அனாதியாய் பலவாய் ஒன்றாய் பிரமமாய் நின்ற சோதி பிழம்பது ஒரு மேனியாக கருணைகூர் முகங்கள் 6 கரங்கள் 12 கொண்டே ஒரு திரு முருகன் வந்து ஆங்கு உதித்தனன் உலகம் உய்ய. How this 6 face 12 hands he has assumed, because Lord Shiva has 6 faces. Lord Shiva has also 6 faces. அந்திக்கு நிகர்மை அண்ணல் அஞ்சற்க என தன் தொல்லை திருமுகம் 6 கொண்டான். That's how Kachiyapar says. So Lord Shiva is also having 6 faces. Those 6 faces, with these 6 faces and 12 hands, Lord Subramanya, Lord Shiva are one and the same. And we can understand that Lord Subramanya is not different from Lord Shiva, or Lord Shiva is not different from Lord Subramanya. Basically, we must understand. But why this evolvement? Why Lord Subramanya, a new form should come out of Lord Shiva? That's how people will ask, isn't it? When Lord Shiva is already there, why should we have another form, Lord Subramanyam? That's how people will ask. But there are reasons for that. There is so many people with so many maturity level. People are paying their prayers, worshipping God, are also different in their maturity level. See, the Kandapuranam goes like this. I am just going to narrate the gist of Kandapuranam so that when and where Lord Shiva assumed the new form of Lord Subramanya, that we must understand. So, once upon a time, the Asura king Asurendran was conquered by the Indran, King Indran, and they were ruling all over the humankind. They were the Lord, the King Indra was ruling over all the worlds with his power, and all his devas, they were running in the entire world activities. They were responsible for entire world activities, and they were having upper hands over the asuras. So there was a continuous conflict. There was a continuous enmity between these Devar and Asura, good people and evil people. Asuras are depicted as evil people with the evil deeds, evil qualities, where Devar, that is the heavenly people, they have good qualities, they will have patience, they will have kindness. All these things are attributed to their enjoyment in heaven, Devahood. Asura. There is a continuous enmity between these Devar and Asura. They will be always fighting. Somebody will be overpowered by somebody. That is, Devar will overpower Asura. Asura will sometime overpower Devar. So they will be having upper hand. Sometimes Devar will be having upper hands. That is the heavenly people. Good people will having Devar. Devar means good people. Whatever you call. These people are living in heaven. So they will be having upper hand over the asuras, demons, monsters, whatever you call. They will having upper hands. Under those circumstances, Asura Guru, he is the Sukracharya, Asura Guru. He was very much worried that his students were being ruled by Indra. So he thought of a plan that somehow or other we must make the asuras more powerful than the Indran and his other people, Indran and his supporters, let us say. Okay, then what he did was, he was the teacher for the daughter of Asurendran. So Asurendran left his daughter with the care of the Asura Guru, the teacher, their teacher, Sukracharya. Sukracharya taught all the things to the daughter, and he also gave the name, Diksha name, as Mayi. And when Mayi submitted herself to their Guru, to her Guru, and she says to the Guru, "Oh, my Guru, I am indebted to you. You have taught me a lot of things, a lot of knowledge. I am now very powerful. What can I pay as Guru Dakshana? What can I pay as Guru Dakshana to you? Some or other I have to honor you for your great imparting of knowledge to me." Then Asura Guru told her, "You some or other, you get a child, you marry Kasiba Munivar, you get a child. If you get a child, that child will be more powerful. It will be more powerful. And he will definitely win over Indran, and there will be a recovery and a re-establishing of the Asura Rajyam, that is the kingdom of Asuras again. So, if you want to do me any favor, do this. Go and enchant this Kasibar, some or other, make him to marry you and get children out of him. All those children will be more powerful, and then only your father will resume his original state, and Asuras will be more powerful than Indran and his co." Okay, that's how he asked her. And she agreed, Maya agreed, and she also won in enchanting Kasibar, and Surabadman, Singamuhasuran, and Tarahasuran, and last but the least Ajamuhi. 3 sons and 1 daughter Maya yielded, and she gave birth to these 3 people with a lot of Asuras. So this Asura kingdom now started. It was more powerful, and it won Indran, and they took over the charge of whole ruling. Surabadman was ruling in Veeramahendrapuram, and Singamuhasuran was ruling in Asarapuri, and Tarahasuran was ruling Mayapuri, 3 cities. They were giving all sorts of troubles to Indran and his company. Indran doesn't know what to do. He left over, escaped, and he was hiding himself in Sirhadi. So, in the meantime, to capture Indran, Surabadman drove his son to fetch Jayanthan, the son of Indran, so that if they capture the son of Indran, and if they were able to put him in the jail and torture him, Indran will surrender by himself, because his son was caught, because his son was suffering, he will definitely come and surrender. That's what they thought. So they brought Jayanthan and other people, and they put them in the cell, and they were giving them all sorts of sufferings. In the meantime, Brahma, Thirumal, Indran, everybody summoned themselves to the Lord Shiva and requested him to grace them, to protect them from the claws of Surabadman. Then only Lord Shiva manifested himself in another form, Lord Muruga, to fight Surabadman. So the story, I am just giving you only the gist of Kanda Puranam. I am not getting into the details of Kanda Puranam, but I am giving you the gist of how Lord Subramanya came out of Lord Shiva. People may think that Lord Shiva is the father and Lord Subramanyam has come out of him. That is why they established a relationship of father and son. just to appreciate, just to understand. We may establish this relationship, but there is no father and son commitment between Lord Muruga and Lord Siva. They are not blood related as we are. They are not having such a relationship. Lord Siva assumes himself as another form. See, when the Indran and his people, when they were going to Lord Siva and asking for a son from him, as a matter of fact, asking for a son, they were quoting these details. How they expect a child, with what qualities they expect the child. With what qualities they expect the child. ஆதியும் நடுவும் ஈரும் அருவமும் உருவும் ஒப்பும் ஏதுவும் வரவும் போக்கும் இன்பமும் துன்பமும் இன்றி வேதமும் கடந்து நின்ற விமல ஓர் குமரன் தன்னை. You just see. நீ தரல் வேண்டும் நின்பால் நின்னையே நிகர்க்க என்றார். That's how Kacchyapa Shivacharya explains. See, you must give a son, he must be possessing the qualities. What are they? There should be no beginning for him, there should be no ending for him. Adi, and in between state also he shouldn't assume. Adiyum naduvum yeerum. Aruvamum uruvum oppum. His original state should not be a form or formless form. What do you mean by that? These are all not natural states, the unnatural states. To come in a form is an unnatural state. So, a form in which the Parabrahman exists, that should be the original form of the child. Aruvamum uruvumagi anadiyai palavai undrai. That's how it means. Adiyum naduvum yeerum aruvamum uruvum oppum. There should be nobody to be compared with him. Your son should be in such a state that there cannot be anybody to be compared with him. Even when there is nobody to be compared means, can you think of a person above him? No. So, it should be uncomparable. Tanakku uvamai illathan. You understand? Aruvamum uruvumagi. Adiyum naduvum yeerum. Aruvamum uruvum oppum. Eduvum varavum pokkum. He should not take birth and he should not vanish away by death. Because there are so many gods taking birth and vanishing because of death. Lord Muruga doesn't have any Jayanti. Semman magalai tirunum tirudan pemman Murugan piravan iravan. Pirappu irappu, there is no date of birth. If you have a date of birth, definitely there should be a date of death, isn't it? If you have date of birth or somebody, if you know somebody with a date of birth, definitely there should be a date of death, isn't it? Lord Muruga doesn't have any date of birth. Eduvum varavum pokkum. What do you mean by that? Eduvum. It is in Tamil anyway. Edu varavu pokku. Varavu pokku means birth and death. Edu. There shouldn't be any reason for his any activity. Only what are the reasons behind for having come as Lord Muruga? Lord Shiva manifests himself as Lord Subramanya What is the reason? We are also asking you, please give us a child, please give your son to fight against the great Surabhadman and to protect us, safeguard us. Of course, you are asking. But that child should not have any reason or purpose for coming into the world except His grace. God does all these things only because of His mercy. Mercy can be the only reason that can be attributed to all His behavior, all His deeds, nothing else. He doesn't expect anything from us. Why He is doing all these things? His mercy. Why He is creating the world out of Maya? Mercy. Why He is taking back everything to its original state? Mercy. Why He is making the whole world existing? Mercy. Why He is giving us this body? Mercy. Why He is taking away our body? Mercy. Again and again, the only reason that can be attributed for all the behavior or all the deeds of Lord Shiva can be only His mercy. Karunaye than karanam, nothing else. Yedu indri, that's how he says, yedu. There shouldn't be any other reason. God this because He wants to be praised. Can you just say like that? God does this because so that people will sing about Him, will compose songs about Him. He wants to be flattered. He wants to be praised. Can you attribute these reasons? No, not at all. Whatever you praise Him, it is far beyond His original fame. Far beyond His original. We cannot praise His original fame. He is so famous. He is so popular. He is so, what can we say? There are no words to describe His good self. ஏதுவும் வரவும் போகும் இன்பமும் துன்பமும் இன்றி. No pleasure, no suffering. If you have a pleasure, then there would be a suffering. If you receive a pleasure, be sure to receive a suffering coming from that, evolving out of that pleasure. So they are the two pages of a single coin. They are two sides of a single coin. They are the two pages of a single sheet. Inbamum tunbamum. He is the personification of Anandam. Anandam is different from Inbam. Inbamum tunbamum indri. வேதமும் கடந்து நின்ற விமல ஓர் குமரன் தன்னை நீ தரல் வேண்டும். You must give us out of you, like you. What do you mean by this? All these things. You give a son out of you, like you, exactly like you. நின்னையே நிகர்க்க. நின்பால் out of you. நீ தரல் வேண்டும், please give. This dictates, these conditions dictate definitely that they are requesting Lord Shiva to come in another form Himself. That is how Lord Subramaniam is understood by great saints and learned scholars. They understand that Lord Subramania is nothing but Lord Shiva. Nobody other than Lord Shiva. Lord Subramania and Lord Shiva are one and the same. So this thing we must understand first of all. The first thing we must understand about Lord Subramania. Suppose if you hear stories in Puranam about Lord Subramania and Lord Shiva, one talking to the other, one asking the other, one giving directions to the other, one obeying the instructions of other. If you just come into such situations, you must understand a single man taking two roles. As in films, you may see some actor will take two roles, isn't it? Double act, that will be called as double act. He will be depicting as son and father. The same actor will be depicting father and son. He is just acting as father and son. Neither the father nor the son is the actor. It's all characters. That's all. They are not original. They are artificial. But the actor is the original. Like Paravalli is original. The father Lord Siva, son Lord Subramanya, they are characters. That's all. The characters may be different, but the lordship is the same. That we must understand, we must appreciate. That is why we are having the strongest basic principle that Padi is Ondre. Padi is only one. Ondre Padi. ஒரே கடவுள் என்பது தான் நம்முடைய கொள்கை. The basic principle, the basic fundamental principle. Saivam has three basic entities, Padi, Pasu, Pasam. The Almighty, the soul and the bondage. These are the three things. You understand? These are the three things we talk about in Saivam. Mupporul Unmai. So it's being called. In that we must understand Padi Ondru. உயிர்கள் எண்ணில, souls are countless, numberless, numerous. You cannot calculate, you cannot know the data, you cannot take the census also. So the souls take different births, as a bird, as an animal, as a man. Likewise it takes all types of births in this world. They are countless, they cannot be numbered. But whereas Padi is only one. Padi is only one. If you just say Padi is only one, and if you establish that rule, that fundamental rule that Padi is one, then how can you explain Lord Siva and Lord Subramanya as two gods with equal powers? We cannot explain. Lord Vinayaka, how can you explain? So basically the Saiva deities, the holy deities of Saivam, we must understand that God manifests himself or takes different forms to make the people understand the qualities of Lord, the Almighty, and to get the benefit out of Him. You understand? The choices are there. See, God is in a formless state, but we cannot say that He doesn't have capacity to take a form. He is capable of taking a form also. He comes to the basic level, earth level, to the ground level. He comes to that level. He is ready to come to any level to uplift the soul. His ultimate motto is to uplift the Lord. And the basic reason for his activities, the basic reason is mercy. So he will go to any state, he will go to any level to uplift a soul. That is why he takes a lot of forms. In every form, and in every form, he gives lots of meanings, lots of informations to the devotees. We must take the information from his form. We must understand why he assumes this form and what he tries to preach us, what he tries to impress us, and what he expects out of us. A father taking a son to the school and the father may put him in a school, but what the father expects out of the son, the son should understand what my father expects out of me. Why he puts me in this school? Why he puts me in such a state or situation? Why he asks me to obey the teachers? Why he asks me to follow the rules of the school? Why he expects all these things? Because if he is clever enough and if he is smart enough, he will understand only for the betterment and only for the benefit of the individual, all these things are being done. Thus, the father may wander here and there, run here and there. He may run pillar to post. He may work hard. He may do all sorts of hard work to pay the fees, to get the facilities for the child in the school, to get a better education. Why he does all these things, sacrificing his so many enjoyments? He may be doing all these things because he expects the son to be coming up and not to suffer in this world. That is the only expectation, isn't it? You must understand. The son should understand this. He should not think that the father has chained him to the school as a prisoner chained to the cell. It's not so. It is not so. So likewise, the souls, when they take some birth, he should understand why the Father of all, the Almighty, should take us here, why he gives these circumstances, why he gives us this type of life, why he gives this style of living, why he gives all these things. If you basically understand, then you will appreciate and will definitely get benefit out of the living situation. Likewise, Lord Muruga, as we already know from Kanda Puranam, he manifested, Lord Siva manifested himself as Lord Subramanya to cull out, to null away the three impurities with the soul. The soul is with the Sahaja Malam called Anava Malam, the ego. The selfishness coming out of that ego. The second one is the Maya. Third one is the Kanmam. Kanma means whatever you do, you get the result. Whatever you do, the results should come to your experience. If you go on experiencing the yields out of the deeds, then you will correct yourself and get yourself up, betterment. You will get yourself improved. That's what God expects. Why he gives the yield of your deed? Because if you experience it, you will correct yourself. That's how he expects. But all souls do not behave like that. Even when they get the bad, bitter experience, they don't correct themselves. They go on be doing the same things and get the sufferings again and again. It prolongs for a time period. So again and again God gives the experiences till the date that soul understands, unless otherwise I correct myself, I cannot escape out of these sufferings. It comes to the decision, till that date he waits. and his weight never go waste. Never goes waste. Likewise, Lord Subramanya is a simple form of himself, because Lord Shiva, people may think that we have to qualify ourselves to a certain level to worship Lord Shiva, to pay praise to Lord Shiva. But if he comes as a child or a Bala Murugan, an young man, Lord Shiva has a matured appearance, matured form, matured. But whereas Lord Subramanya has a tender, nice, young, even a child looking, all these forms Lord Subramanya can take. Lord Shiva cannot take as a form as a child. But Lord Subramanya, he can take Bala Subramanyam, Bala Murugan, a small child. People will be attracted to that form, and they are feeling more intimacy with this type of God. Very young, very beautiful. Murugu means beauty. In Tamil, Murugu means beauty. Beauty is equal to Murugu. Murugu is equal to beauty. That is why Sivam is a matured looking deity, matured looking, whereas Lord Muruga is the nice looking and beauty expressing, depicting form of Lord Shiva. One and the same. Likewise, I said Lord Shiva, the father, has taken the role of son, means the roles are different, but the character may be different, but the actor is only single person. He was playing a matured role, father role, and here he is also playing another role, a son role, a young and energetic role. That's why he goes for fight and all. He does a lot of fights. And people are also very interested to know, to follow the fight that Lord Muruga takes in the battlefield. So many deeds here he was performing in Kanda Puranam. People are very much interested. That is how Surabhadra also made the mistake. Surabhadra made the mistake. You look like a child, a baby. You look like a baby. I can win over you just in seconds. Just a few minutes are required to win over you. Since you are climbing the son of Lord Shiva, I am just giving you a chance to go away from this battlefield and escape. He was saying, because without understanding that Lord Shiva is playing another role as Lord Subramanya, without understanding or without realizing, he just took over the war and was won. Is it not? So, we should not do the mistake. Lord Shiva and Lord Subramanya are different. We should not commit that mistake. We should never commit that mistake. If you just take a gem, it may glitter. The glittering rays are different from the gem. Can you say like that? Tesulai Manipol in Kanda Puranam says, that is the light and the sun, or the light and the gem. Manikathin Olipola. You understand? Okay, likewise, Lord Subramanyam and Lord Shiva are one and the same in two forms. So, the deity of Lord Subramanyam is the very popular, not only popular, worshipped by crores and crores of people spread over the world as the holy deity of Saivam. Some people will say that Lord Subramanya belongs to Kaumara Samayam. No. Kaumaram, people themselves, they call themselves as Kaumarar because they worship Lord Subramanyam only. So that's how they segregate themselves. But Kaumaram is not different from Saivam. Lord Subramanyam is the god of Saivam. He is also the Almighty of Saivam. Almighty, as we rightly put it, Almighty took two forms. One is Lord Siva, another one is Lord Subramanya. He also had taken another form, Lord Vinayaka. So these three forms are not different. There was an old song, with that I can conclude this session. In the next session, we are going into the more details of Lord Subramanyam. One very old song, the composer is not known. Sudaro Sivaperuman. Sudaro Sivaperuman. Sood Parasakti. Tidamar Semmai Gananathan. Padaroliyo Kandavelagum. Satrenum Vandado Pedavazhakku. What this song narrates actually? See, Shiva, Lord Shiva is the flame of a lamp. Is the flame. If you just see, the flame is inherited by its heat. Heat is latent. If you just touch the flame, you will understand it. So heat is inside. But apart from that, it looks reddish. Is it not? It looks reddish. Not only it is reddish, not only it possesses the heat energy, it also emits light energy. Light is also seen. So the flame with its heat, and it is being depicted with a reddishness, and also it gives out light. Likewise, the flame is the Sudar, the flame is Lord Shiva. Its heat is Ambal, Shakti. Tidamar Semmai, it is reddishness, look, it is Vinayakar. The light comes out of the flame, is Lord Subramanya. Can you just separate the heat from the reddish or from the light? All of them are merging together to form the flame. So the single flame is known as light. The single flame is known for its heat. The single flame is known for its reddish look. Likewise, all these qualities are put together known as a flame. Okay. So the flame, Lord Shiva, looks Lord Subramanya, looks like Lord Vinayaka. He also looks like Lord Goddess Shakti. So don't differentiate between them. So likewise, this is known as Siva Kudumbam. All of them are possessing common qualities. We have discussed about the deity of Lord Vinayaka, and we have been giving an introduction about Lord Subramanya this week, and we discussed fewer details. In our next session, we are going into the inner details of the holy deity of Lord Subramanya, and we are going to discuss more about the worship of, or the temples in which Lord Subramanya is very famous, and people are crazy about him. The festivals also we are going to discuss, the important festivals, and why we affiliate the star Visaham with Lord Muruga. What is the reason? When he is not having any birth, Where is the birth star? Some people are saying that his birth star is Vaihasi Visakam. Visakam. That is why he is called Visakan. But why? Is it true? If he is not having Adiyum, Naduvum, Yeerum, then how can be fixed up with a star? We are going to discuss all these things in our next session. Our next session will be on 1st of May. It will be on 1st of May as usual at 12 o'clock. Okay. Now I am going to conclude this session with the 6-lettered mantra. I will recite 6 times. Kindly follow me. Tiruchittambalam. Om Saravana Bhava. 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 Tiruchittambalam. I thank once again the kindness of the Qatar couple. They are the only people responsible for these programs, English programs. This is the only English program going on. I don't think anywhere such programs are going on, I don't know. But this is the only program in Saivam, that too about the Saiva Siddhartham and other details in English. They are the people responsible for them. So once again, for this, once again we are thanking them on behalf of Jnanathiral. We are asking to be bestowed with God's grace, with all health and wealth and every goodness in their lives. And once again, I thank all the listeners. Kindly follow me, all the listeners, please, these English sessions, and also you please let other people know about this serial, and let them also, if people are not having good Tamil vocabulary or good Tamil, I mean they are not well versed with the Tamil language, they may be able to follow these sessions and they will be appreciated. Saivam and the holy deities of Saivam, why we are having so many deities, what are the reasons behind such having different worships for these deities. We all discuss in these sessions, so they may be useful for them. Okay, thank you. With this I am just concluding this session. Wishing you all, we will meet in our next session. தென்னாடுடைய சிவனே போற்றி, என் நாட்டவர்க்கும் இறைவா போற்றி, வெற்றிவேல் முருகனுக்கு அரோகரா. திருச்சிற்றம்பலம்.